Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome to the Next Generation Leadership Academy. I am just so honored that you're all here today. I appreciate all your love and support, and I pray that the information that we're going to give to you over the next 4 sessions is going to bless you and the people that you love in your life. First, just a little housekeeping, wanted to go over who this is for. So this is the Next Generation Leadership Academy, and I've had people ask me, what age range is this appropriate? Can I bring my high schooler, with me? Can I bring my child with me? Absolutely, yes. It's going to be rated G, of course. But at the age of 13 and up, they will start to understand the concepts that we're going to be going over and hopefully won't be squirming in their seats. But with ages 18 to 30, 18 to 30 will relate to the stories and examples that we're going to be going over. But 31 all the way up to over 100 years old can learn from the timeless success principles we're going to be going over today, except they're in the digital age. So timeless success principles that many of us may have heard before, but in today's social media world, and if applied to your life again right now, like who's ready to be reignited? Who's ready to get your mojo back? Who's ready to go to that next level or just start a whole new page? Then I hope that this information blesses you and helps you take that to the next level. I'm going to be going over and teaching lessons from my new book called Real World Superpowers, and I'm excited to help you channel your inner superhero, because in life we will face moments that require us to channel our inner superhero, to be able to overcome obstacles that come up in our lives, to be able to respond to difficult and mean people with love, and to be able to get to that next level and go out of your comfort zone, doing things you've never done before that are so uncomfortable, but you're going to be able to embrace them with confidence and have a plan moving forward, so you know without a doubt that you are going to be okay and you are going to be fantastic. So the book, if you don't have it yet, you're welcome to scan the QR code. I'd like to get it to have a companion here for you to follow along and get more out of your experience. There it is. I hope that link works. You can also find it on Amazon too, and we are going live on Barnes & Noble literally this week. So very, very excited about all that. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you've recently heard me speak on a call, some of this may sound familiar to you, but I will be going into more depth and detail as well, and especially over the next few weeks, we'll be going over some new material. But the first thing and the first superpower I want to invest in you is to believe in yourself. See, there's never been another you in this world. And Jamie Kern Lima says, there will never be another you. So go be the best you that you can be. And I don't know if you've ever had thoughts like I have before, but have you ever thought, am I good enough? What are they going to think about me? Will they like me? Well, what if I mess up? What if this plan that I have doesn't work out? But you know what? If you are like me, you most likely had those thoughts, because everyone is slightly insecure. It doesn't matter if you're popular or famous. We all experience moments of doubt and worry about what others think about us. But here's the funny thing. Did you know that most people are not thinking about us? Who are they thinking about? They're thinking about themselves. They're worrying about what other people are thinking about them. So why get sucked into worrying about what other people will think about us? And let's just focus on being ourselves. Start believing in you and who God created you to be, and on this new path that you're on. And don't worry about what other people are thinking. You know what? I had to learn how to believe in myself when I first started my business. I mean, I had a lot of friends that made fun of me. I was 24 years old. They didn't understand entrepreneurship. They didn't get why I couldn't go with them shopping on the weekends to pick up boys when I had to go to what we call in our industry a super Saturday training, a personal development seminar. They didn't understand why I couldn't go away to the lake for the weekend because I had to go to an international convention to better myself. They didn't get that. So I got a lot of teasing. They made fun of me. One night I went out to dinner with my friends and I was meeting my best friend's new guy. So she brought him to meet everybody and she said, "This is Jennifer, this is Kelly, and this is Liz." And when she said, "This is Liz," he said, "Oh, you're the one with the ridiculous business." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, yeah, that's me. I'm the one with the ridiculous business." And of course, I laughed it off, but I was the whole rest of the night, I was just boiling with embarrassment. And as everybody continued to socialize around me and my eggplant parm was getting cold, I was couldn't help but thinking like, is everybody talking about me? I mean, she's supposed to be my best friend, and obviously she's saying things behind my back. That's the first thing that he chooses to say to me when he meets me, I thought I was supposed to be her best friend. I was definitely devastated. But you know what? I learned that if what you're doing is with love and your intention is to help people, that you can do no wrong. And I believed in my mission, and I believed that what I was doing was truly helping people. And so I stuck to it. I stuck with it. And despite the insults I had to face, I went forward to keep my mission in front of me and believed in my mission until I could believe in myself. And I believed in it so much to the point of now having helped 67,000 customers between me and my agency to date. We've built a team of thousands of leaders across the country. We've earned millions of dollars because I had to learn how to believe in my mission before I could believe in myself. Because I didn't know how to believe in myself with everybody saying what they were saying around me. And you know what? Steve Jobs says that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. Did you know that Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job because they said he lacked imagination? Well, Disney, as you know, went on to create one of the biggest entertainment empires in the world. You have to believe in yourself, even when others don't. Now, you also want to believe in yourself when opportunities come your way. When I was a junior in high school, I almost passed up an opportunity that I would have deeply regretted. At the time, I was dating a boy named Steve. He was handsome, he was driven, and he had the dream of being student council president. His dad was the dean of admissions at Princeton University, and he told him that if he got the student council president position in school, that it would increase the chances of him being able to get into Princeton. Now, I also had the dream of running for student council president because I was very involved in student activities and I loved organizing school dances and spirit activities, go figure. And but I didn't want to get in his way. And everything was going great in our relationship, so I decided to just sit it out. But as the campaign began, he decided to break up with me. And he said he just wanted to focus on school and the election. And I was like, okay. I was heartbroken. So later that night, as I was doing my homework and I really couldn't focus, and the tip of my mechanical pencil kept breaking, I just couldn't help but keep thinking about this election. And, I said, well, now that we're not together, should I run for the position? No, he'd hate me for it. I feared that it would stop him from ever wanting to get back together. I worried what everyone was going to think of me running against him. I better not humiliate myself. I said, no, I'm not going to think about it. but I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I realized that, you know what, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm never going to be in high school ever again. I should just go for it. So I said, you know what? He broke up with me. It's game on. Now, I swear I wasn't doing it to spite him, but I sure was going to enjoy beating him. And whether or not it was a great experience, I learned how to step outside my comfort zone. I learned how to make new friends, how to talk to kids I never spoke to before, and give it my all. And taking this chance really turned out to be a lot of fun, doing something completely new. And when the election day came, my heart raced as they announced the winner, and I couldn't believe when they announced my name. And here was something that I just had the last minute inspiration to do. And as a result of trying and learning how to believe in yourself, I had won. But what if I didn't listen to that voice inside saying, go for it? Now, of course, Steve got into Princeton still, all was happy. But you know, we must embrace the opportunities that come our way. And the more we go for them, our confidence will grow. We also need to learn how to believe in ourselves and not worry about what other people are going to think. Because if you rely on other people to tell you your worth, you will always be disappointed. But if you look to God, you will be reminded daily how incredibly worthy that you are. Superpower number 2 is to not take it personally. Learn how to not take things personally. I know that it's not easy because we all want to be liked. But famous actor Anthony Hopkins says, what you think about me is none of my business. So I actually had an experience on Facebook where I posted a new profile picture and somebody called my profile picture fake. Now, I had 200 positive comments. I had 200 people saying, oh, beautiful, what a great picture, beautiful smile, blah, blah, blah. And this one guy that wrote fake. And that really hurt me because I had really been trying to be the most genuine and sincere person to everybody that I meet. And he was supposed to be a friend too, friend from long ago. And at first I started to write him a message, like that was mean and that hurt my feelings. And I was like, no. So then I deleted that. And then I typed him another one, like, you should be really cautious about what you say to people because that could really mess them up. And then, now I deleted that. And I realized I was making it more about me than I was making it about the situation or him. So I remember John Maxwell's Winning with People. Has anyone here read the book Winning with People by John Maxwell? One of the best books ever. He talks about the hurting people principle. This book is one of the best books on the psychology of other people and why people do what they do. This hurting people principle says, hurting people hurt other people and are easily hurt by other people. So, happy people don't say mean things to other people. Only those who are hurting do. So I decided to go to his Facebook page to see what's been going on in his life because Facebook doesn't show you everybody. They just show me the same 20 people over and over and over again. And I don't know how the algorithm works, but we have all these friends, but we only see 1% of them on Facebook. So I went to his page and I saw that his family member was suffering with cancer, severely suffering. And they were really going through the battle. And I knew that she had had cancer before. I thought she was healed. I didn't know that she was going through it. I didn't know how bad it was. And my heart completely went out to him. And so there's a scripture that says, do not repay evil with evil. Instead, repay it with good. And I took my original message that I was going to dish it back to him and decided to delete that and send him some love. So I started sending him an encouraging message as if I didn't even see his comment. And I just sent wrote him a nice message, and then I sent it off. And you know what? At that point, it didn't matter to me whether he read that message or not anymore, because I felt better having sent love instead of having dished it back. Because when you dish it back, when someone's mean to you and you're mean back to them, what does that do to you? It just makes you uneasy and you don't even know why. It still makes you mad. It still makes you unsettled. But when you repay evil with love, it makes you at peace. So he eventually did read that message. He got back to me. He even apologized so deeply about what happened and what he said. And years later, he actually ended up reaching out to me and asked to be a customer because he had a legal situation. I'm in the legal industry. He had a legal situation going on and he needed help with something, and we were able to help him. But here's the thing. If I had burned the bridge and dished it back to him, we would not still be friends today. And then he would have not gotten the help that he needed when he was in that situation. So we have to remember not to take things personally and to truly understand that other people might be going through things in life that will cause them to act out. You know, if you have a splinter in your hand and someone shakes your hand, what are you going to say? Ah, right? It's going to hurt. You're going to freak out. You're going to react. Why? Because you're hurting. But if you don't have a splinter and someone shakes your hand, nothing. So we just have to be sensitive and compassionate to those around us and people that might be going through hard things. You know, the second thing when it comes to not taking it personally is I want to encourage you to not take things personally on social media. Not only did that happen before, I've been left out of things. And this doesn't just happen in the teenage years. This happens as an adult where you see friends getting together and you were not invited, whether they meant to not invite you or not, whether it was a mistake, and they forgot to invite you or they intentionally meant to not invite you. It happens. I saw my old college roommates getting together in New York, and they all live on the East Coast. I'm the only one out here. So the first time I saw the picture, I was like, oh, they're getting together. Oh, how nice, So I started commenting, oh, you ladies are so beautiful. It's great to see you. I hope everyone's doing well, and then no response back. So then I figured that they're not active on social media. They don't really seem like they're very active on social media. They haven't posted in years. And so, okay. So then the next year, I saw them in a tropical location this time getting together. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're starting to get together. This is awesome. So I reached out to them. I sent a private message. I'm like, hey, so great to see you girls again. Oh my goodness. I love, the picture. Where did you go? Blah, blah, blah. And, most of them replied back nicely, but I didn't have the guts to actually really bring up like, hey, is there a reason why you didn't invite me? What happened? I didn't have the guts to bring that up. They didn't talk about it either, but I happened to reconnect with another friend who was in that second picture, who was not one of the roommates, but we were all just friends from college. And then I said, hey, it's so neat that the girls are starting to get together. And she said, oh, the girls have been getting together for the last 20 years. And I said, really? Wow, that's great. I was brokenhearted. I really was. Because what did I do? I thought we got along so well. And you know what? You can't take it personally on social media, whether they intended to leave me out or not. You know what? I mean, I did have to take responsibility for the fact that when I moved to the West Coast, I didn't do as good of a job at keeping in touch as I could have. So I will take responsibility there. But we will see things on social media. These things will come up in our lives, and we can't take it personally, because the relationships that we can really judge the quality of the friendships and relationships we have are the people that we talk to on a regular basis, or the people that we see on a regular basis. Those are our real deep friends. On social media, you can't take things personally because social media is not personal. Social media is a lot of the time surface level. People are only posting the highlights of their life. No one's posting the lowlights of their life. People are really only just posting the happiest pictures, not the pictures where everyone's screaming and crying and yelling at each other, which is real life. So we really have to learn how to not take things personally, not just in life, but in business too. And that's going to happen. Don't burn the bridge. Always keep the relationships, keep the network, and you will be a happier person. That's for sure. To not dwell on it and to not take things personally, to be able to brush it off your shoulders and keep moving forward. See, we all get knocked down. We all get knocked down in life. Things happen to us, but it's whether we decide to get up and keep moving or not is what makes all the difference. Now, I also want to talk about being the bigger person when these things happen to us. And one of the best words I've learned in life and in leadership is the word I'm sorry. I'm sorry is the most powerful word you can use, even if it's not your fault. You're probably thinking, how in the world does this make me more powerful if I'm giving the power to the other person by saying I'm sorry? See, saying I'm sorry doesn't mean you're weak. Saying I'm sorry actually means that you're strong. To say I'm sorry to someone says to them, I hear you. I understand you. I can see that you feel upset. And in relationships, it's not about being right. It's more important that you reconcile that relationship and learn how to get along. You can still express your point of view and you can still share how you're feeling. It's just that sometimes the other person won't be willing to hear your side of the story until you have the courage to be the bigger person and be the first to say, I'm sorry. I know marriages that have broken up because one of the people wasn't willing to say they're sorry. It's so important to learn how to be the bigger person, especially if it means saving your marriage. I've had to say I'm sorry recently to a customer to calm them down, even when they were the one in the wrong. We recently had someone come to one of our events and they were being disruptive. And it was making it really hard for the speaker to be able to present and for everybody around them to enjoy the experience. Everyone kind of kept turning around and this person was being very disruptive. So our manager politely asked her to tone it down, but it actually made her really mad. And so she decided to tone it up. And she started shouting and yelling and making a really big stink. So I immediately went over and I apologized for the situation. And I said, I am so sincerely sorry for the way you were treated. And I listened. I just listened and let her express herself. And she expressed herself for a long time. And that's fine because as she started to talk, she started to calm down. And you know what? Apologizing helps others feel that their feelings are acknowledged. So the next time that you're in a heated situation that requires you to be the bigger person, number one, stay calm. Just stay calm. When someone's rude or mean, instead of reacting with anger, which is easy for us to want to do, just stay calm and composed. Number two, show empathy. Understand that others might be going through tough times. And obviously, she was going through a very tough time. So show compassion to people instead of judging them. Forgive. Number three, forgive them. Let go of the grudges and forgive them for their shortcomings, for we are forgiven every day. Number four, take responsibility, own up to our own mistakes, and make things right. And number five, lead by example. Act in a way that sets a positive example for others to follow. Now, superpower number 3 I want to empower you with is the power of owning it. Simon Sinek says you get to take credit in life for all the things you do right, as long as you take responsibility for all the things we do wrong. It must be a balanced equation. See, there was a period of time when I blamed my wonderful husband for keeping me up all night with his snoring. It was so loud, it would like literally vibrate the windows. I kid you not. And I used to be grumpy the next morning and tell him that he kept me up all night and I couldn't sleep because he was snoring and he felt so bad. Sweet Dave, you guys, most of you know him. And he wanted to help me, but he didn't know what to do to make it stop. So it dawned on me one day that I actually had the power to change the situation. Instead of me pointing my finger at him, I had the ability to be able to better my situation. So I stopped pointing my finger at him. I took the problem into my own hands. I got sleepy time lotion, made sure I had a nice hot bath before bedtime so I'd be relaxed. I drank chamomile tea, that sleepy time tea with the little teddy bear, by Celestial Seasonings. And I put lavender oil on. I even bought these big, huge lawnmower earmuffs from Amazon. Bigger than the ones that Lou's wearing right now, but except like the lawnmower kind, not the Bluetooth kind, the kind that literally suction to your head that the guys that drive the big lawnmowers wear. And so now when he snores, I just pull my earmuffs, I put them on, and I can sleep like a baby. See, we've got to start taking 100% responsibility for the things that happen in our life. Jack Canfield, the author of Success Principles, say take 100% responsibility for everything you experience. This means giving up blaming others for the circumstances that we're in today. Even the word blame stands for being lame, because that means that you're waiting for the other person to make it right. You're giving the power to the other person when you're blaming. You will always perpetually feel stuck in your situation as long as you continue to blame other people. But in the words of my amazing mentor, Elizabeth Gardner, who's on here today, this is what she says. She says, the person who broke you isn't coming back to fix you. So we've got to take things into our own hands. And the beauty is we can take ownership and start turning our life around right now. Did you know that people only complain about the things that they have the power to change? I have a friend who always complains about her boyfriend every time I see her. She also complains about her job and all the things that her coworkers do that drives her crazy every time I see her. Jim Rohn says, if you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. You can change the trajectory of your future starting right now. We are always living in the results of our past thoughts and actions. And if we spent all of our money, then of course today that we're broke, ask me how I know. I've been there many times before. But if you start saving your money starting today, you will eventually be living abundantly. If we pissed off all of our friends by being mean, then now we're alone. But if we start planting seeds of kindness and love and investing in relationships, tomorrow we'll be surrounded by wonderful friendships. We get to choose. Every day we get to choose if it's going to be a great day or if it's going to be a bad day. And each time something happens to you, you get to choose whether to react positively or negatively to it. When someone says something that upsets you, you get to choose whether you're going to let it ruin your day or not. Growing up, my friend Jenny, her mother was very verbally abusive to her, and she would insult her regularly and never apologize. So naturally, of course, Jenny got offended and angry right away, and she would stew about it and think about what she should have said back. And it would just ruin her whole day, occupying her mental space with negative energy that she did not want to be spending her time and emotions doing, but she just couldn't get it out of her mind. But then on other days, she would pause to consider that her mom had grown up with an abusive father and dealt with daily struggles of depression. And so remembering this side of her helped her shift her heart from anger to compassion. Now, it's not okay that her mom was verbally abusive. It was not acceptable. But being able to take herself out of the situation and look at it from a mature lens, look at it from a different point of view, really helped her in her healing process. Because again, you can't change other people. We can't change other people as much as we want to, and we can try, but we need to learn how to choose how to be at peace with things sometimes, and to look at things from a different perspective and to be able to move on. And the beauty is we also get the opportunity out in the real world as adults, after the age of 18, for example, to be able to choose who we associate with, who we spend our time with. We want to, if there are loving, positive people, spend more time with them. If there are negative, toxic people that are verbally abusive to you, spend less time with them. We have the power to choose those things. I do want to empower you with one more tool, and then we can go into breakout rooms to share with each other. Maybe one takeaway that you want to take away from today and implement this week. But I do want to give you the 30-second rule. The 30-second rule was taught to me by my coach and mentor, David Berg. And he said, the next time or anytime something bad happens to you, or frustrating, or somebody says something mean, or an obstacle comes in your way and you were not expecting it and it just hit you out of nowhere and you just took you off your plans, set your alarm for 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds, you can scream, you can cry, you can shout, you can stomp, you can throw the biggest fit that you need to. You can throw things if you want. But when that alarm goes off, you better get up and you better get moving. You better get up and start making a can-do list, a list of things you can do. Maybe there are some things that you can't do anymore because something happened, but there are other things that you can do to start solving your problems so you don't feel stuck and you can get up and get moving. This 30-second rule has helped me so many times because I can't even tell you how many times I've been thrown off of my path of trying to do my thing, right? And get where I'm trying to go, and then things come in the way. But when that alarm goes off, gotta take a deep breath. Gotta stand up. Okay, if you feel stuck right now, stand up wherever you are. Just stand up and say, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna write a can-do list right now, starting right now. And you can change the trajectory of your life starting right now. Now, I want to tell you that the next week, we're going to be going teaching from chapters 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to be learning next week how to build successful habits in every area of our lives. We're going to discover what natural foods promote positive mental health so we can have a more positive mood. We can have more energy and peak performance to crush the day. We're also going to share the one thing that top leaders do that gives them more influence, gives them a greater advantage, and to be able to give them a maximum impact in the world. This is going to be next Sunday. And then on, you know what? I think some of the dates in my email may be messed up, so I'll have to resend that out. I apologize. So then on March 30th, we're going to take a spring break, but then April 6th and 13th, April 6th, we're going to focus the first half on financial responsibility and the 4 rules of money. Follow these 4 rules and you will be abundantly happy in your finances. The second half of that class, We're going to be focusing on relationships and learning how to speak up and communicate our feelings calmly instead of bottling them up and exploding. We'll then conclude that session by revealing the secret to recognizing your soulmate and picking the right spouse who you'll be equally yoked with. And then we're going to end the 4-session academy on April 13th, talking about the power of your associations. Also, how to set meaningful goals, how to feel more purpose driven in what you do every day, master the use of a day planner and maximize your productivity. Plus, we'll also uncover your unique superpower. Did you know that we all have our own superpower? So everyone that leaves that day will leave equipped with the tools to make a positive impact on this world.